you do. Boy, I know you're with it. Took you to the side, boy, I know you're with this. Cause I know you fantasize.
My name is Tome. I'm born and raised in Canada. I'm French Canadian as well as Nigerian, and that is a big representation of my music and how I portray it.
My body, babe, nobody loving my body, babe, nobody like you do. Give me that right now. Give me that on. Hey, yeah, give me that. Oh, right now.
Beyonce and Rihanna, just because, especially Beyonce for her performance, that was really what made me inspired to want to put on a show at all times on stage. But in terms of sound, Alicia Keys was very dear to me because her vocals for me resonate well with how I sound, and I feel like it was a big inspiration in terms of her vocals and how she came about her music. It was phenomenal to me. I love Alicia Keys. Now when I got a little bit more into Afro beats, what kind of inspired my sound now was definitely more Wizkid and like Burna Boy mix, just because they bring an R&B twist a little bit to the Afro beat, and that's what I try to incorporate most and emphasize on. And so they kind of influence that Afro and that culture in me, as well as my father and other people within, like, personally, that also influenced that. But when it comes to my music, I'd say that, as well as like Sade, Lauryn Hill, which I try to incorporate more of my sultry lyrics, such as Je M'excuse, a song that was much slower and a lot more intimate.
You had me, you're so foolish. You left me, you're so clueless. And if you're thinking about redemption, hold on. If you're thinking about the past tense, no, need you to stop for a second. To separate feels for the moment. Yes, I'm gonna leave without you.
When I was growing up and everything, like I have always been around Africans. You know, my father has always been around, and I've always been introduced to my family. I've been to Nigeria, so it's not like I'm not in tune with it, but I didn't grow up per se every single day around it. And I think in 2018, when we actually opened up Kiza Toronto, that kind of exposed me to the entire culture that really is there. And so that was really what also pushed my motivation to kind of go a different route with my music, which created all the songs you hear now. So for me, like, growing up, I might have not been around it, but it was still always a part of me. And now I just feel like I've involved it in a bigger way, and I think it is much more impactful in my life now, and I'm just so proud that I am actually able to really showcase more of my Nigerian roots and be much more proud of who I am, truly, and be much more proud of being African, because I mean, I wouldn't be here today if it wasn't for the people I've worked with and if I wasn't around this African culture, to be truthfully honest. So I think I am just happy that now I can say, like, really say that I'm truly involved with my culture, and I can really say that I'm proud to be Nigerian and I know much about it and that I am Nigerian. I think that was what I wasn't necessarily able to say when I was growing up, being in Canada all the time and not necessarily around the culture, per se.
All your love is strong, your love is calling me all night long, your love is calling me on the phone, your love is killing me after. All your love is strong, oh. Hey, wait, hey, wait, bye-bye, you a dirty rider.
I was in a full French school, and my sister and I were the only ones that were Nigerian, because Nigerians don't necessarily speak French. So being in a full French school, there wasn't other Nigerians. So I didn't know many growing up, and I wasn't necessarily around them day to day, and it was much more infrequently, like just when I went to Nigeria when I was with my dad and we were visiting our cousins and stuff. So it was kind of like, for me, it was a little bit harder to say. I mean, I always said I was Nigerian and I always identified as that, but it was harder to be accepted as that. And when people look at me, they don't necessarily see African. That's always what I get. When they first meet me, they're like, you're African? You're Nigerian? What? It's like, it's always a shock. But now I'm just like, yeah, question me. I'm here for it. I know who I am, you know? And so that was, yeah, it's like... So I've heard about South by Southwest years ago. You know, it's always been a big platform for emerging artists, as well as already like B-list, A-list artists as well, who come out here and really showcase themselves. And so I've always known about South by Southwest, and I always wanted to be in a music festival. I didn't think my first one would be South by Southwest because it was international. I thought I would do it something local. But I am just so grateful to be here. And I think for me, honestly, because I just released very recently, I just was around the right people at the right time. And so that was really it was honestly, it was a dream come true in a sense, because this is a major platform for me, especially just coming out. And so I am so grateful to be here. And the fact that I'm also doing it on the African platform, which only just influences much more of what I'm trying to do and who I'm trying to portray. I think it was just amazing that I got this opportunity, and I'm so grateful for it.
Hold on, if you think about the past tense, no, need you to stop for a second. Those temporary feels are for the moment. Yes, I'm gonna live without you. All that kissing, touching, baby, ain't new. Yeah, you thought I was stuck like glue. Now you share a luck.
This is Tome, and this is Africa to the World, staged by South by Southwest 2019.